And then I come to the realization, you can just set alerts and you can walk away. The stress of just constantly monitoring those charts all the time. And it was so funny, at first I carried that old way of thinking into it. I'd be watching a 15-minute chart, just sat there waiting.
Because it's habits, you're used to it, yeah.
Exactly.
Trading our style on the higher time frame, you're still staring at the chart, not because you had to, but just because it was a habit and that's what you were used to. And it probably took you a week or two until you decide, actually, I can close my laptop and I'm not going to miss anything.
One of the biggest things I've learned from being part of your course.
Hey, Mike, thanks for coming on the call. It's good to see you.
Yeah,
we're going to just talk a bit more about your journey over the last couple of months since you've come on board to trade the higher time frame, the Power of Two, and your recent funding journey as well. So first of all, how long you've been trading for, and what kind of style were you trading before you actually came on board with Evolution Markets?
Yeah, sure. So truthfully, mate, I'd say 10 years on and off trading. Always really struggled to take it anywhere. Back when I was at 18, first ever exposed to the markets, it was kind of piecing together any sort of free information I could find on the internet and really just trying to apply it to a chart, not really understanding what I'm doing, very basic stuff, trend lines, all that sort of stuff. And then just over that 10-year period, I'd be in this cycle of maybe every 2 or 3 years, I'd just sort of, something would catch my eye on social media and I'd have another go, and I just never could seem to make it work, And then in more recent years, sort of the back end of last year, I discovered smart money concepts and trading on the lower time frame. And that led me down a bit of a rabbit hole, because essentially what ended up happening was, I'm there back testing data. I'm trying to figure out a solid strategy. Okay, if X and Y are here, then enter here, so on and so forth. And I just couldn't seem to make it work. I'd back test 1 month applying this strategy, and then I'd back test another month and the data would be just so skewed. And then I go back to the drawing board. I was sacrificing entire weekends sitting there just for hours a day, just trying to figure out what is the strategy, how can I do this? And it was crazy, to be honest. The timing of when I got hit with one of your ads, I was literally sat on my sofa and I was scrolling through Instagram. I was just thinking, how the hell am I going to make this work, And then, what really appealed to me was systemized higher time frame strategy. And for me, I was just all I'm looking for is a set of rules and a strategy, a criteria to hit each and every day.
That's essentially what you're kind of asking yourself, I just want something that's really mechanical, that's not got information overload.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was looking for.
And were you working at the time when you were trading before?
Yeah.
What was your typical day look like?
Yeah. So typically, I'd try and I'd start work at 9 in the morning. So I'd sort of frantically get up and try and catch trades before that. I remember, man, I'd be on Zoom calls, doing meetings whilst also in a different tab. I've got charts on and people are asking me questions and I'm trying to flip between and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, I don't have that problem anymore, because not only do I work for myself, but obviously trading is a big part of my income now as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was crazy, man. The timing of it, and it just clicked. Obviously the content, you've got to sit down and get through it, and I think I went through it 3 or 4 times. But eventually, you just have that moment where you can just look at a chart. You've just got your 4-hour and your 15-minute, and you just know what you're doing. And
you came on board April time, and then within 4 or 5 weeks, you'd consumed the content, you'd back tested the strategy over and over quite thoroughly. But in that short space of time, you were that confident that you were then ready to take a funding challenge, and you started a 200K funding challenge.
That's right, mate. Yeah. So I got through the content. I back tested the life out of it. I was very happy with my data. Started to trade on a demo, applying it in real life. And I just thought, to me, I just don't see the point in even waiting. I'm confident in my results. I know that this works in the live market. Why not just take the leap? And I brought a 200K challenge. Ironically, I went for a no time limit challenge because I didn't want the pressure of a 30-day window or whatever. And I got the account in 4 trading days.
Nice one.
But yeah.
And had you done funding challenges before? And have you been funded before and lost it, or what have you done previously?
So it's funny. So when I was trying the lower time frame stuff, I had to go at a 50K challenge. But again, this kind of goes back to like the extra things in the course that really appeal to me. It's not only a systemized strategy, but like the psychology behind things as well, and like risk management and all this sort of stuff. You know, I took a 50K challenge before. From day one, I'm panicking. So I'm like, I've got a 30-day window, 2% risk. Let's go aggressive. You know, 5 trades later, I've blown the account. Well, maybe a bit less because of slippage and everything.
Yeah, they do say that most people fail the challenge in the first few days.
That's it, exactly.
Regardless of whether they've got a 30-day time limit or not, they still fail it in the first couple of days.
Exactly. And that was one of the biggest things I've learned from being part of your course is patience. Because, you know, I started the challenge. I did it in 4 trading days, but I don't think I took a trade for the first 3 days because there was simply no opportunities there.
Yeah.
And again, that is exactly what I needed, because when I was trading lower time frame, it's very, very easy to force trades. It's very easy to sit there and go, well, that's kind of a break of structure. And yeah, and like, you know, your emotions start to take over and you move away from that mechanical way of thinking and you start to trade emotionally.
Yeah.
And, you know, you jump in trades because you try and justify in your mind your overall bias, but you're not trading what you see, you're trading what you want to happen.
Exactly. You're seeing opportunities because on the lower time frames, not knocking it, but there's a lot of information. Price moves quite fast. So when you're looking at a 1 minute chart, there's a lot of candlesticks compared to the same data on a 15-minute chart. Like there might be 3 or 4 candles in the 15-minute, times that by, you know, a lot on the lower time frame, and then you're just looking for opportunities because you can see the candlesticks moving. Whereas now, like, what's your typical routine like now? Like, you get up in the morning, you spend, how long do you spend for analysis before London, before you head out to work? And what do you do now?
Yeah. So, you know, night before I go to sleep, I'll double check where we're at with our confirmation bias, you know, where we're looking on the 4-hour chart. With Asia and everything, things don't really tend to change through the night. So I'll know what I'm looking for as soon as I open my eyes. Obviously I'm working with the extended session, so 7:30, you know, I'm up at about 7, little morning routine, little meditation, feeling good, jump on the charts. Within 10 minutes, you know, I'm like, okay, we're working with something here, maybe we're not. Set my alerts if I need to, go off, start my day. I actually work remotely, I work for myself. So I'll just leave TradingView open in another tab, crack on with my own work. And then when that alert goes off, we just enter the trade.
That's it. It's either the 4-hour setup or it's not.
Yeah.
If it is, we set alerts on the 15-minute. And if the 4 hours not set up, we wait till the next 4-hour close. So it's either 10 a.m., 2 p.m. or done.
Exactly.
And it's really simple. So you have the benefit of working from home. However, you still got work to do, right? So if you were trading how you were before, smart money, lower time frame, too much discretion, probably not very mechanical, systemized.
Yeah.
You would probably have that TradingView chart up for most of the day and struggle to get your actual work done. Whereas now it's probably the opposite way around. You're getting loads of work done and you're not looking at TradingView at all until either the 4-hour closes, which is twice a day, or your 15-minute alert goes off. And even when the 15-minute alert goes off, it's either a trade or it's not. And you're waiting minimum 15 minutes, maximum till the next day.
Exactly.
So you've probably got tons more free time.
That's it. Nail on the head, mate. Nail on the head. And that's what used to kill me about the lower time frame stuff is the stress of just constantly monitoring those charts all the time. Whilst I'm trying to do other stuff and actually, you know, work and stuff like that, it's just an absolute pain. Whereas, like you say, with this strategy, and it was so funny, you know, at first I carried that old way of thinking into it. Like I'd be watching the 15-minute chart, just sat there waiting.
Because it's habits, you're used to it. Yeah,
exactly. And then I come to the realization, you can just set alerts and you can walk away and your phone pings off if it hits the alert, and it's beautiful, you know, like you can just go and do your thing. And even if you are out and about and your alert goes off and you're on your phone, it's easy enough to place a trade through TradingView. Well, like mark it up on TradingView and jump on MetaTrader. And again, with the lower time frame stuff, that was something I struggled with as well. If I'm out and about trying to put a trade in on my phone, man, the minute candles, like, you know, you've got to jump between the two.
The entry's gone in 5 seconds.
Yeah, you got to figure out your lot size. It's like, okay, the stop has changed, like blah, blah, blah. This is just like seamless. You know, I can be in the gym. I've been in the gym before and put on a trade. And then by the time I've left the gym, it's come through. So done.
Super chilled now, way more time and funded. So
yeah.
you passed your 200K challenge. So you joined us in April, you started your challenge early May, you passed around what, the 25th of May, something like that, maybe even earlier. Well, you passed it in 4 days.
Yeah.
That's your minimum trading days to do.
Yeah.
And then obviously you got your live account. And where are we now? 13th of June. And then today you took your first live account withdrawal.
Took my first live account withdrawal, about £2,500.
Well done. So that's like a monthly salary and, like you say, like 30-minute trade or something.
That's it. It's wild. It's wild. It's, you know, nothing prepares you for it when you first put that trade on with your live account. And, you know, when it hits TP, you just say, you know, and it's like, I've just watched my monthly salary just, you know, well, a lot more actually. Just get
exactly. And you're not chasing like 1 to 50, 1 to 100 trades. It's just like 2 or 3%, take it. And you decided psychologically you wanted to take that withdrawal. You wanted to, you know, see what it felt like. And so you should. So you feel good for that now. And you've got a considerable amount of funding now where you can go and you can use this systemized mechanical trade system.
Yeah.
Where you're spending probably about 20, 30 minutes per day max at the charts. And that's not even in one go. So you're able to go and do other things. You've probably got more free time to go, you know, to the gym and spend time on yourself as well as other work.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, mate. That's it. And, you know, time really for me is the currency. You know, I've got a lot of like side projects that unfortunately, when I was working at my previous job, again, trying to do all this lower time frame stuff, I couldn't do, you know, like I've got my own podcast that I've had to put on hold, which I'm really passionate about, but I haven't had the time or money to throw at it. And this is the beautiful thing about trading. I'm now going to have the free time and also the money to get like an editor in, someone to help with the social media and stuff like that. And that's what, like, you know, for me, like trading is more than just looking at a chart and just extracting money out of the market. It's like the freedom and what it means for my life is, I can't even put into words.
That's it. It's a tool, isn't it? It's like a vehicle.
That's it.
Using trading as a vehicle to make money, but you've got to make it work so you're not staring at the charts all day, every day. Because if you do, then everything else gets neglected. Your job, your family, your health, your mentality, everything gets neglected. And at the start, you've probably got to become slightly obsessed with it because it's something that you've got to really deep dive into. And this is why I've been saying that, you know, for years, that it takes a long time to get used to it, because it's not just pick up a book and you know how to trade in an hour. It's, you've got to experience the emotional aspects of it as well, and it takes time. Even like you say, when you jumped over to trading our style on the higher time frame, you're still staring at the chart, not because you had to, but just because it was a habit and that's what you were used to. And it probably took you a week or two until you decide, actually, I can close my laptop and I'm not going to miss anything. I'm going to set my alert, and then the 15-minute will tell me if that alert's hit or not.
Exactly. I think, you know, there's a lot of unlearning to do, because, you know, naturally we're taught about anything in life, if you want to make, you know, that sort of money, then the amount of work output that you have to put in, aka my interpretation of that was sitting there staring at the charts all day. I was like, this is like, you know, this is perfectly correlated with making a lot of money. I have to sit here and stare at the charts all day, and then figuring out, actually, you can spend a fraction of the time doing that and this can still work. Yeah. It's like you say, mate, obsessed. I literally, as soon as it clicked, I was like, okay, this is what we can do.
That's it. I think a lot of the hard work is definitely in the learning process and finding the right mentor, finding the right strategy, and you have to go through them all. I don't think there's probably any professional trader out there that is successful in the first ever strategy he or she ever learned. Like, it's had to evolve over time and learn bits from different mentors until piecing it together, and with experience and time and practice, actually works. Or like with us, a lot of people have come in and they've basically forgot everything they've ever learned, come in with a fresh slate, which is what we've recommended, because this isn't a hybrid. This isn't a strategy that you can say, I'll pick a little bit of this and then use a bit of that from what you've learned before. We said, right, try your hardest to forget everything you've ever learned, not because it's rubbish, but because you'll be better off with an open book, and then just start from fresh. This is a very mechanical, systemized way of trading. And if you add certain elements in, then obviously it affects the results. It affects the data and the criteria, the strike rate, everything like that. And you're testament to that. You know, you've come in, you've tried to unlearn everything you can, and you've done it in like a 4 or 5 week period.
Yeah, it's mad, mate. It's mad.
And within 2 months, you become 200K funded.
Yeah.
Already received your first payout. So well done. And I'm sure you'd be, oh, you've already mentioned that you're on another funding challenge already. So you're already on to the next one.
Yeah, up to 2.6% on a new challenge, 10% target, unlimited amount of time. I'm not in any rush, but then that put me on 400K funding, and the goal is, $1 million by the end of the year.
That's it. And like how chilled you are about it. Whereas this time, maybe 6-12 months ago, you'd be anxious. You'd probably be looking at TradingView right now. If you were trading
literally.
The lower time frame.
And that was actually one thing that really appealed to me. One of the terms that you guys used on one of your ads, I absolutely loved it. It was like reduced chart anxiety. And I was never actually conscious of how anxious the lower time frames were actually making me. Like looking at these charts, like it's crazy. You get so enveloped into it, and then you pull yourself out, and you're like, God, that was horrible.
Yeah. And it kind of that anxiety, it kind of becomes thrill seeking if you're not careful, and people kind of get addicted to chart time, and it just turns into gambling at that stage. But like the emotions almost never leave, because when you're not in a trade, you feel like you want to be in something. You should be in something, especially when you're seeing other traders on social media. They're long EU, they're short gold, whatever else, and you're not in anything. You feel like you should be. It's a fear of missing out, isn't it? And then when you're in a trade and you're not too confident with the strategy, it's both fear that it's going to hit your stop loss and you're going to lose again, or it's greed because you're running like a 10% position and you think, oh, this could become 1 to 100, so I'll hold it.
Yeah.
And then that reverses and takes you out of break even at best anyway. Whereas with this, like I've heard it, it's the way that I feel with obviously trading it myself as well. I've gained so much more time through the day to spend on things like this. But like our traders like yourself always say how they feel just super chilled. And like we said on the live call this morning, I said focus on the process and not the outcome of any individual trade. Like our strike rate should be around 50 to 60% with a 1 to 3 risk toward ratio. That's very good. So it doesn't even matter if we take 2 or 3 losers in a row.
Exactly.
The next winner is bringing you back to break even. And it's just trusting the process and just focusing on that and making sure that every trade that we take fits the plan. And the strike rate and the criteria will look after us in terms of results.
Absolutely. And, again, that was something that I had to get used to as well. I was used to before, say, again, with lower time frame, like you say, you're looking at 1 to 8s, 1 to 10s and whatever. And it's like, okay, well, we've made it halfway through the trade. Like, what do I do now? Do I extract money? Like, and I'm taking money out too early, not letting the trade play out and all this sort of stuff. Whereas, like, again, what I love so much about this strategy is 1 to 3. Unless there's news, we just let it run.
That's it. So, like, lastly, what would you say to someone that's maybe in the position that you were 6 months ago, where trying your very best, obviously working hard on it and determined and focused, but just find yourself going down that rabbit hole, maybe information overload, feeling that chart anxiety, and probably spending too much time staring at TradingView? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I'd say don't even think twice about it. Just jump into Evo. What you're talking, a very, very, very fair price per month to be part of it. What have you got to lose? I just think the way that this has taught me how to trade, I just felt that my only regret is I didn't find it earlier. I know it's still, you boys only bought it out earlier this year, but I just think back to all the time I spent towards the back end of last year, and the start of this year, trying to figure out what this strategy was that I was looking for. I didn't even know what I was looking for, to be honest.
That's the thing, people don't. Like, we get messages from people saying, I'm really good at market structure and liquidity, but I just need to nail down my entries. And I'm like, but entries should be the easy part. Yeah, so if you're getting that wrong, maybe it isn't that's the actual issue. And another reason why we say, when you do come on board, come in with a clean slate, because sometimes the thing that you think that you're struggling with is actually the thing that you're getting right, and it's something completely different altogether. Sometimes it's just psychology.
Exactly.
But yeah, like all the elements brought together with the strategy help with the psychology, like you say. And psychology is just as important as the technicals, because if you've got a really, really decent trade plan, but you're stressed out, there's no way you're going to execute on that efficiently. Are you going to close trades down early, or are you going to hesitate to take trades that go on to be winners and just going to take the losers? be all emotional, and you're either going to throw in the towel or lose a lot of money.
Exactly. And I will say this as well, mate. The Discord is phenomenal. Like the community that's been built around this, because it's one thing learning everything and then backtesting it and getting your head around it and understanding it, but there's something really empowering. Like trading can be such a lonely journey at times, and there's something really empowering about, you know, all of us jumping in the analysis channel. You know, who else is in this trade? Then, you know, when we all hit the same take profit, could we, you know, again, that's a beautiful thing. We're all taking the same trades. We are, you guys are. And it's like we're all profiting together. We're taking the wins together and we're taking the losses together, which again, when losses happen, I understand it's just part of a strategy. No strategy is 100%, but it does make it a lot easier knowing that we're all sort of losing together.
Exactly.
You know? Because
I'm sure it comes with some kind of reassurance that when a student loses a trade, the coach has already lost that trade as well.
That's it. It's like, I don't know, you know, I've been part of a few different courses and stuff, and I've never been exposed to something like this. It's like, you know, I'm telling all my friends about it. I'm like, boys, you need to get on this, like ASAP. So yeah, mate, again, like the community that you built around it is just phenomenal. And like you say, we've got a physical meetup next month. Like, I love that you're even, you know, considering putting something like that on, because it's clash. You know, you talk to these people all day through a screen, all you know is their username, and then being able to physically meet up and be like, Jesus Christ, you know, April, I didn't know any of these people. I didn't even really know how to trade. And now, you know, we're talking hundreds of thousands of funded capital. It's mad.
That's it. I appreciate that. And it's like things like this that brings us close together. Like, we've only been speaking for like 45 minutes or so since before the call. And I feel like I know you so much better already. Yeah. And I said at the start of the call that would happen. And then for us to meet, we do physical meetups every 3 months. As of March, we had the last one. This time is the 22nd of July. So looking forward to see you there. And this is where you connect with these like-minded traders that are all trading the same strategy now as well. So it's a good talking point. We've all got different backgrounds, different experiences. Some maybe struggling with it, some are more experienced with it and really confident, and everyone has different psychology. So it's really great to kind of talk about it with other like-minded traders within a same community. Community is really important in everything, in every aspect. And this is where you'll make lifelong friends, because you can't talk to your family and your friends about this. They just don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, family, you are right, mate. But believe me, I've sat a few friends down. Some of them have actually joined as well.
Oh, nice.
Because yeah, mate, you know, I just feel like it's that ripple effect. You know, it's like you see people, you know, people see, you've done this, and it's like they want to tell people, and I have no doubt that this is going to get to, I don't know how many members you got now, but it's going in the thousands. You know, as the year goes on. We just want to impact
as many people as possible in a positive way, but always make sure that we are the coaches. Like me, Tom and Callum, we have no desires to hire a team and then to like go and retire somewhere. Like, that isn't for us. Like, so we don't have any team members, and we're a year in. And I think we're the only community that have ever done that I've known about, that I've been in. Like, usually after about 2 months, they've hired teams already. So this is something that we want to do. We're about 300 members in the community, so it's nice and small for those worrying about being in communities that have thousands of members and you can never get a question answered, and there's like gifts flying around, and like, we don't take things too seriously. We're like, there's a time to trade and there's a time to socialize, and we have different channels for that, but it's not over consuming. And like Mike says, it's a really good place to be. And we are growing, but we're growing at a very steady pace, and that's what we want. We just want to make sure that our traders are lowering anxiety, increasing their strike rate, making sure that trading fits in with their lifestyle and their work and their family commitments. And if funding's a goal, like you, Mike, then to achieve that, and then obviously to actually make money from trading would be nice, right?
Yeah.
So we're ticking those boxes, and we're ticking those boxes every week at the minute, which is awesome to see. And it's great to have you on the call, Mike. Thanks for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you in June in Birmingham.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Scott. Appreciate your time, mate.